All right, so I wanted to kind of backtrack. I know that the first video I posted was the intro video, and then I went like straight to SBA loans, which I started that TikTok stream specifically targeting the funding topic. But for these actual videos on the website, I want to take you through the process from step 0 to launching your business and sustaining your business, right? So in the intro video, I talk about your idea. And a lot of people have these grand ideas, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't start a business based off of your idea, but what I mean is you need to be thorough. And the very first step after you have your idea, the very first step in the starting your business process is market research. And it's more than just you knowing what the demand is, who your competitors are going to be. These pieces of information should be incorporated in your business plan. So if you have a really good idea for a business, or let's say you're working for a candy shop and you're like, I can do this better, I'm going to open my own candy shop. Once that idea pops into your head, go and get a copy or a template, a business plan template. And if you're one of my email subscribers, I'm going to send you this template for free. It's the same one that I use and that I've been using for all of my businesses. So some of the sections that I have are unique to my process. So once you have your business plan, your blank business plan template, the first couple pages are going to be like executive summaries and the overarching concept of your business. You're going to skip those. Those first 2 pages are actually pages you're going to do last. So the next section is going to be your market research. And I'll go over this in a video at the end. So your market research, you're going to determine, what's the demand. And, if the candy industry is a multi-trillion-dollar industry, there's a demand for it. So don't be discouraged because of the possibility of a lot of this competition. Next, and that kind of incorporates the market size. But next you want to look at the demand in your specific area. Where are you looking to sell, this candy? Is it going to be in a store or is it going to be online, right? Is there a demand for that? So, put your Google hats on and go to Google and Google exactly what you're looking to do. Candy store online or candy store Denver, Colorado, and kind of see what else is out there. You also want to look at things like unemployment rate. Is the unemployment rate for the food industry high, low? So you're going to want to look at those sorts of things. And then you're also going to want to look at, what products are you looking to sell? Are you making candy or are you just selling candy? And if that's the case, what are the prices, right? How much are people actually selling this for? And then if you really do a deep dive and go to some of these supplier websites, you want to see how much they're selling for, right? So for example, if a Hershey's chocolate bar is $2, what's the actual price? How much can you buy that chocolate bar for? And the answer is probably going to be about 65 cents, right? 65 cents to $1. So if this chocolate bar is $1 and everyone's selling it for $2, that's going to be the general pricing point. And, big companies like that tell you how much you can sell their product for. So even if you get it at a cheaper rate because you bought a higher quantity, they're going to tell you, I don't care where you are and who you're selling to, this is going to be $2. And that's called map pricing. And then lastly, when you're doing your market research, and it's called market research and competitive analysis, you want to get a real feel for these other companies because they're going to be your competition. So go to their websites, see how things are set up, look at their comments, right? Look at the reviews. If people are complaining, what are they complaining about? If they're praising the company, what are they praising them on, right? And take these pieces and as a what not to do and what to do, and try to incorporate the best pieces of information into your business plan. So if you are an email subscriber, I'm going to send you a bunch of links on small business data and trends, like websites for you to go to gather all of this information. And it's websites that the SBA have published on their website, but also a few more that I've put together that I've gone to when I do market research. And that's going to be like consumer statistics, places to go for trade statistics, and demographic information, because all of these things are important. I will say, if you intend on entering a market based on a protected class, like for me, a veteran-owned company, I want to look at the demographic, right? Who's buying, if I'm looking to start a candy store as a veteran, how many are there veterans that currently own candy stores, or are there, veterans that buy from candy stores? And the answer is for sure the latter, right? I'm sure there's veterans that are buying from candy stores, but there might not be, they might have a very small like percentage of that market. So for me, that's a way for me to enter that space, right? There's not a lot of veterans who own candy stores. So if I bring that there, that's that point of differentiation. So those are things to keep in the back of your mind. So let's start off with the United States Census Bureau, rather. So I specifically like to look at the data and map section of this. And here there's tons of information as it relates to the United States as a whole, demographic information, which I definitely recommend you look at when you're going to do your market research. But today we're going to look at the surveys and programs. Definitely look at the business owner statistics, but for this presentation, we're going to look at the statistics of the businesses, and business owners is kind of going to give you an idea if you can, if you're in one of those protected classes, like a veteran-owned business. You can see that from the survey of business owners. For now, the statistics of U.S. businesses. There's tons of information here, right? There's data. There's about the program, how they conduct this survey. For this presentation, we're going to look at the tables. Now this section, they give you historical data, but we're going to look at the most recent data, which was published this month, last year, February 2022. It's done annually, so the 2023 should be coming out soon, fairly soon. It is important to notice that it's the NAIC, or North American Industry Classification System code. You're going to need to know what your code is, especially if you intend on applying for grants. So the NAIC code basically puts all businesses into certain categories or subcategories and subsections of a national database, and that's how they track, kind of the industry as a whole. So for this presentation, we're going to look at the U.S. States NAIC detailed employment size. It's just going to be a general overview of all the businesses. So when you click that, you're going to get this spreadsheet. Now, if we zoom in, we see that it came out again February of last year. We're still waiting for 2023. And there are no state codes. It's going to be the United States as a whole, but it'll give you a really good idea of how your specific industry is doing. And as you can see, it breaks it down into those subsections, and it tells you the employment size. So it's important to look at a small business. So how many employees do you think you're going to have? And I would recommend turning this into a table and filtering by small businesses, or, let's say less than 5 employees, or however many employees you think you're going to have, so you can understand, how well they're doing. Now, noise is basically the volatility of the organization, and noise, code G is low noise. So I went to food here, less than 5 employees. How are they doing? How volatile is the organization, or is the industry as a whole? And there's tons of stuff here, right? Food breaks down into many different categories. I tried looking up candy, but it doesn't break down into candy. Again, I'm not too familiar with the food industry, and there's codes. As you can see, there's a million different types of codes. I think this diagram went to like 600,000, this spreadsheet went to about 600,000. So lots of stuff there, but I looked up confectionery manufacturing from purchased chocolate. It just kind of give you an idea. So when you look up the NAICS code, this homepage is really all you need to look at, right? You're going to go ahead and click on the PDF. It's going to open a new window. And from here, I'll scroll down. I like to go to the table of contents because it's just a quick, overview of the codes and their different subsections. So the numbers that we saw in the Excel spreadsheet correspond to the industry code in the subsection, right? As you can kind of see here. One of the great things about this is once you figure out what code and subfactor you are, and let's look up food here for a second. Okay, this is a random one, water supply, but it tells you exactly what that subfactor includes. So you have to find the subfactor that or subsection of these codes that your business falls into. Another thing that I love, like construction here, it tells you exactly what this sector means. What is construction? And then it goes into the definitions of each of the subfactors. So again, go to the table of contents, get an idea of what code you fall under, and then read through the subfactors. See, you can also apply for multiple subfactors.